Boom, I think we're live. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Gavra Racing GT7 League. What round is this? Round 11 I think, at Laguna Seca. I put the title in for the stream of round 11 and I instantly forgot what round it is. Yeah, we're here for Laguna Seca, the final race in America, and as you can see Piero has put it on pole position. I don't have long to get this stream done before I've got to go, so well, unfortunately, I'm going to waste no time with the qualifying grid. We're going to go through it very, very quickly. We've got Piero on pole position, a great lap from him, 2/10 quicker than Toussaint in second. We've got Cameron Kaboom in third place, Bonnie-Bull in fourth, only 3/10 off pole position. Tiger Assassin in fifth. We've got the Scout down with an amazing qualifying for him in sixth place. Littman making his return to the grid from Deep Forest. His last race was in Deep Forest. We've got him in 7th, we've got Abyss in 8th, we're going to start in 9th, Aston in 10th, making himself into the top 10, Natty down in 11th place, Black Country Mush in 12th, Ryan in 13th, Wolfie in 15th, and Sergeant Colon making his debut along with Ryan in 13th and 15th place, the two debutees for tonight's race. So again, yeah, I apologise about the pace of the stream and maybe the slightly different tone of commentary. So then, let's get into this race. So disclaimer now, spoiler alerts for anything mentioned about previous results and races. If you haven't seen them out already, make sure to go check them out on our YouTube channel. But yeah, let's just get straight into this because I have to go in about an hour. This race is 55 minutes. As you can see in the bottom left, actually 58 minutes, so we're not going to waste any time at all. Welcome to Laguna Seca, 3.6 kilometers, 11 corners, 5 red lights. And it's a long hold, but the lights are out and away we go for 41 laps of racing. Toussaint's off to a good start, Piero quite slow. 3 wide going into turn 1 between the top 3, Bonnie-Bull on the outside, Toussaint on the inside, the Alfa and the Mercedes going side by side as there's a little bit of contact towards the back of the field. Piero's dropped down to 3rd, maybe even 4th place, because here comes the Scout down after starting in 6th place, making his way up through the field. Further down, that's on the inside of Aston, who makes contact with Portland, the Dutchman in 11th place. A penalty's already been awarded to someone, not sure who it is. But Toussaint off the line well from 2nd place, moves up into the lead of the race ahead of Bonnie-Bull. Cameron Kaboom in 4th place, the Fist trying to go down the inside of Scout Dan, who's gained 1 position in the opening half a lap. Tiger Assassin and Wiggly Star now side by side, going in towards turn 7. There's contact between the two. Wiggly Star's off the track, and there's drama behind. Ryan's off. Natty has to take avoiding action as Ryan is facing the barrier. Sergeant Colon, I think, got caught up in that as well. Piero all over the back of Bonnie-Bull, going through the corkscrew to left-hander of turn 9, the right-hander of turn 10, the penultimate corner at this track. Piero running wide onto the gravel, having to go a little bit defensive to cover off Cameron Kaboom behind him. But it's Aston with a 5/10 penalty. Dan drops position, he's now down to 8th place. Natty up to 9th, but will lose 2 positions to Wolfie and Black Country Mush after serving a 5/10 penalty. Wiggly Star, after being involved in the collision with Tiger Assassin, is down into 12th place. Will be looking to try and work his way back through the field if he can. Laguna Seca is not an easy track to make an overtake at. Hello and welcome to everyone who is tuning in to the early phases of this race. Apologies for, firstly, poor mic quality, B, for commentary, and C, if anything, I'm making any mistakes. I'm in a rush to try and get this done. Didn't think I'd have time to do it, but I have found an hour. Oh, that's Cameron Kaboom wide into the gravel off the track. He's lost the position to Abyss, and he's going to lose another Tiger Assassin. He moves up into 5th place in his still Australian-themed Porsche, running that special livery at Mount Panorama, and it's continued over for the next 3 American races. Scout Dan purple to the middle sector, although it is lap 2, so everyone's going purple to sector 1 and 2. Black Country Mush with a 5/10 penalty will make Natty's overtake all that easier in getting ahead of the Mercedes in his come back through the field after a poor qualifying performance, still running with the rainbow colours on the side of the Fern. representing, well, an icon in New Zealand, albeit being streamed live in June, so it is Pride Month, as Black Country actually not serving the 5-10 penalty, but running wide at turn 2 and allows the McLaren to slip one up the inside and move up into 10th place. Meanwhile up front, Bonnie with the fastest lap of the race so far. I'm still trying to adjust my mic. For some reason it keeps moving away from it. There we go. That's just going to make things worse. There we go. That should be good. Let me know, guys, in the comments of the live stream if there are any mic difficulties. The battle for the lead has well and truly begun. Good evening, Black Country in the chat. Hope you're having a great afternoon. Yeah, for those who are new to the streams, this race isn't being streamed live. It is the race replay from a race streamed on a Friday evening. I've got a free hour to do the commentary for this, so we will get it over and done with. Otherwise, it will be a while until this race gets streamed. Wolfie runs a little bit wide, Nettie goes around the outside. But Mush has to take avoiding action, starts drifting around the final corner, and then slows down to serve his 5-10 penalty. It's quite an easy track to get a 5-10 penalty at, as Bonnie now takes the lead of the race down at turn 2. Track that's quite punishing in terms of mistakes. You can see there the sausage curves on the inside of turn 3, 4, 5 and 6 and 8, no 9 sorry, and 10 and 11. So yeah, you take too much of the inside sausage curves and the car will be thrown to the other side of the track, and then if you take too much cornering speed you're at risk of running off the track into the gravel. So keeping it clean and consistent will crown the race winner tonight. Speaking of Piero making a little bit of a mistake running wide, Tiger Assassin gets the jump on Abyss, now up to 4th place and can hunt down the leaders. Abyss though sending one, diving one up the inside. Whether there was contact or not, it was hard to tell from that angle, but Tiger Assassin was forced to open up the steering and leave him room. They're still going to go side by side, the German and Japanese manufacturers, the two British drivers fighting for 4th place. Abyss initially lost the position, but then got it back. Tiger looks for a move down the inside, also going slightly defensive to cover up camera kaboom behind. In the background, got 3 cars fighting for 7th place, but in front of them, Tiger and Abyss are going side by side, wheel to wheel, down towards turn 2. Tiger Assassin summits later on the brakes. Can he slow it down in time? Abyss with the switchback move. No moves behind. But it looks like Tiger's got the move done and up into 4th position and try and hunt down cars in front. Aston and Dan going side by side. Natty can't quite find a way past. The Brit now running in 9th place, looking for a move down the inside of Dan, but isn't quite close enough. Down towards turn 4. Might find an opportunity towards turn 5, late on the brakes. Dan runs a little bit deep. I didn't think there was any contact, but Natty now up into 8th place and has Aston in front of him. There goes Camera Kaboom looking for a move on Abyss down towards the corkscrew of turn 8, but isn't going to go for anything there. What about Natty on Aston? Former Haas teammates on F1 2020. We've got a car round in the background. That's Wolfie off on the exit of turn 7. He might get overtaken by Ryan, although I don't think the Dutchman is close enough to the back of the Irishman, and will sit behind for now. What about Toussaint on the back of Bonnie going in towards turn 2? That little kink does count as turn 1, making this the braking zone. Turn 2, the Andretti hairpin. Behind, Tiger's ahead of Abyss, ahead of Cameron Kaboom. Natty now to the inside of Aston F1, both running the rainbow flag on the side of their cars for Pride Month, and it's Natty's McLaren who gets ahead up into 7th place of Aston's Ford GT. Natty was down in 12th place at the end of lap 1 and has worked his way back up into 7th place. Look at this up front. Cameron Kaboom trying to set up Abyss for a move down towards turn 6, but couldn't quite find a way past. The Nissan GTR, the two Japanese manufacturers fighting for 5th place on the road, as it's Cameron Kaboom in 6th place with the fastest lap of the race thus far on those medium compound tyres. Everyone, I believe, starting the race on the mediums, apart from Ryan, who is on the red striped soft compound tyres. Sergeant Colon going through turn 6 now at the back of the pack, as Born Evil goes through the final corner to start lap number 7 of 41. It looks like a long race, but only a short time. Only 3.6 kilometres is the total length of this circuit. Going through the Andretti hairpin once again with Born Evil in the lead of this race, but we saw a similar situation last week in Road Atlanta, where Toussaint could just sit behind the cars in front, start saving fuel. As long as he can keep within the 8/10 slipstream window of the race leader Born Evil, then he could be in a good position to have a shorter pit stop time than the driver in front and get the jump in the pit stop window. But yeah, I mentioned this earlier on in the stream. It's a track that's really easy to make a mistake at. Run wide and losing time, making mistakes. Well, there's not a lot of runoff out of this circuit. The most you're going to get is down at turn 2. The rest is gravel and dirt. So yeah, not a lot of margin for error. Biss has been overtaken by Cameron Kaboom. Drops down to 6th place. Meanwhile, Natty and Aston are side by side going through the final corner. They're 3 wide with Dan trying to go down the middle of them. Natty though is able to swoop it round the outside. Is there enough space on the outside? There appears to be. Natty and Aston now going side by side. Scout Dan getting boxed in behind the 2 British drivers. And Natty from 7th down to 9th. What happened there is he looks to go down the inside of Dan once again. Dan running a little bit deep, but Natty now down the inside and is in between the 2 teammates. Appears to be Natty. It looks like he's struggling in the early phase of this race on those medium compound tyres. With 1 minute 25.3 on the last lap. Must have made a mistake. Runs wide again on the exit of turn 4. Let's jump back up to the leaders as the front 3 are still very close to each other. All running different cars and different colours on their liveries for this season. The red and white Alfa Romeo, the black and green Mercedes and the blue and pink McLaren. Tyrus Aston not too far behind them as well, and the green and yellow Porsche. Teammates with Toussaint for a 6th consecutive season. Partnership that started in season 2 when the team's championship was first introduced, and one that has stuck like glue for the following 6 seasons after that. Natty close to the back of Aston, and ran down towards turn 2, down the start finish straight. Is he going to go for a move on the Ford GT? No, he's not. He's just going to set himself up to try and get something on the exit of turn 2, but he's not close enough to try and find a way past. Really struggling after finishing on the podium in the last few races. 5th place or 4th in Road Atlanta, I can't quite remember, but it's a similar story to what happened with Toussaint at Grand Valley. Finished 10th in that race, but then went on to win the next one at Road Atlanta. So whether it's a car issue or a skill issue, probably a factor of both in both situations. But the gap is stabilising between the front 2. It's not opening up, but it's not getting closer. I think Toussaint is more than comfortable just to sit behind for now, preserve the tyres, conserve some fuel. Because we all know that Alfa Romeo, not only is it thirsty, it also likes to burn through its tyres. It could also be a combination of the Alfa and the driver behind it. There's a move for 7th place. Aston conceding the position to Natty. I think he might have had a time penalty, 1 second off of his last lap time. Woody Starr in 10th place after being involved in a lap 1 collision with Tiger, who's now running in 4th place. Wiggly's done pretty decent recovery drive in this race, 1 minute 22 on the last lap is his personal best. And he's working his way nicely back through the field. Backcountry Rush down in 12th place, but ahead of Sergeant Colon and Ryan, who's starting to struggle now on those soft compound tyres. Oh, that could be a time penalty for Wolfie. He went over the white line, albeit in the braking zone. We'll have to wait and see. Don't think he's going to get one. It would be pretty harsh to give him a penalty for that one, considering the grip off the track is not good, let's put it that way. Apologies for any coughing or any such. But Bonnie will still lead this race after starting in 3rd place, I believe. No Play Dutchie tonight, no Topster, so the championship hopes for those running in 2nd and 3rd place has slightly reignited. Oh, the contact between the two teammates. Dan giving a little bit of a tap to Aston's rear left tyre. Matthew has appeared to open up a little bit of a gap to the cars behind him, and Wiggly Styles all over the back of the Scout Dan going through the middle sector now. The Toyota Supra is going to struggle at the circuit. It's really good in straight line speed, but struggles in the corners. There's not many straights at this track, so if he gets ahead, it might be easier for him to stay ahead. But getting ahead might prove a challenge. We'll have to wait and see how he negotiates an overtake on the Scout Dan, who was running in 4th place temporarily at the start of this race. Let's keep an eye on this battle, but we're going to quickly go back up to the battle for 4th place between Tiger Assassin and Cameron Kaboom, the two Brits. Raced each other in the past, come together in the past. Looks like Cameron Kaboom was slightly later on the brakes going in towards turn 2. Running a little bit wide, picking up some dirt on the outside of the track. Wiggly Style not close enough to the back of the Scout Dan to go for a move down towards the Andretti hairpin. I believe it's called the Andretti hairpin, but please let me know if I'm making a mistake. There's a car coming into the pits. That's riding off of the soft compound tyres, and will be round in the final corner in 13th place ahead of Sergeant Colon, who's making his debut in the Ford Mustang tonight. Let's see what tyres Ryan goes onto. We'll keep an eye on that, but we'll go back up to the race leader. Bonnie ahead of Toussaint, and Pierre has caught up nicely to the back of the Mercedes. We could see a position change for P2. As this is probably one of our closest battles on the circuit. We've got quite a few battles. We've got the battle for the podium positions. We've got Tiger and Cameron Kaboom, Dan and Aston. Wig Star as well included in that. Fortman's not too far behind them. Wolfie and Sergeant Colon, and Ryan coming out of the pit lane on the set of medium compound tyres, who has already used the two different compound. I was going to say two mandatory tyres, but there is no mandatory tyre, just two different compounds have to be used. The Alfa Romeo getting a little bit unsettled on the exit of turn 3. We'll be starting to struggle with tyre wear, although tyres may only be 50% worn. They do struggle a lot at this circuit. It is quite technical. Here goes Cameron Kaboom down the inside of Tiger Assassin, who goes a little bit wide onto the marbles and concedes the position. Cameron Kaboom goes wider onto the gravel, but Tiger Assassin's wise enough not to lunge one down the inside of a fast swooping left-hander with a sausage curb on the inside of it. He's just going to wait maybe for turn 1. Is his best overtaking opportunity. Down the corkscrew they go, turn 8, and a long swooping left-hander of turn 9. Similarly for Road Atlanta, the corkscrew left-right chicane is one corner, turn 8, turn 8A and turn 8B for both halves of the corner. Don't ask me why, it must be an American way of marking corners. But going through turn 2, Cameron Kaboom stays ahead of Tiger Assassin and can work on putting out a margin to the car behind and start closing the gap to the cars in front. Let's talk a little bit about strategy in this race. Drivers going for a 2-stop strategy. Medium, soft will be aiming to pit in the next couple of laps, aiming for lap 16 to 18 to take the softs about 10 to 12 laps each. 2 stints. Drivers going for a medium soft will be looking to pit off those mediums around about now. Go on another set of mediums to take the softs about 10 laps to the end of the race from there. Or there is the possibility of a 1-stop medium hard soft, or whether we will see any medium softs, we'll have to wait and see. The front 3 stay out for another lap. Cameron Kaboom is pulling over to the left hand side and dives into the pit lane off of the medium compound tyres. That could be for another set of mediums and then finishing off on the softs. So Biss in 6th place will get promoted to 5th. Augustal has got himself ahead of Aston and Dan, and we've got a 4-way fight here for what is now going to be 8th place. Through turn 1, down towards turn 2. Aston not close enough to the back of Wiggistal, although the Swedish driver's gone a little bit wide. Here goes Sportman's on the inside of Dan. Down towards turn 2, but the Nissan GTR stays ahead of the Porsche 911. Cameron Kaboom leaving the pit lane now on medium compound tyres, so has got to make at least one more stop in this race. Someone's backwards. Who's that? Who is that? It's Ryan, facing the wrong direction in the middle of the circuit, had to be avoided by Tiger Assassin, but stays out of the way. Having a quick look back up in front, Piero dives into the pit lane. He pulls the trigger and ignites the undercuts. Black Country Mush in the chat saying he thinks the hard tyres are too slow. Interesting to see which strat is better, and I completely agree. The hard tyres are completely used to this at this track in this game, unless they are a mandatory tyre, or if tyre wears above maybe times 7 or times 8. It's going to be very rare that we see the hard compound tyres ever being used. We saw them used a couple of times last season, not too often this year. Piero into the pits of the mediums onto the softs. William Style ahead of Aston going into his turn 1. Dan leaving the door open on the inside. Portman's to poke his bumper in, but not close enough to go for a move. Black Country saying it'll be interesting to see which is the best strategy. Based on paper and my calculations, I know what the best strategy was, but unfortunately for me, I didn't have a clean race to do the strategy. Well, I did do the strategy, but I didn't have a clean race to do the strategy as I intended to. So Assassin with a 5/10 penalty will have to serve it at the next penalty gate, located in between turn 11 and turn 1 on the start-finish straight. The worst possible location for a penalty gate on the start-finish straight, especially in qualifying, because then you get 2 laps impeded. Meanwhile, Ryan just about getting in the way, just about getting out of the way of Natty going through the final corner, just to add to the Brits' frustrations of bad events that have happened at the start of this race for him, and I can tell you that will continue to occur during the remaining 22 laps of racing. Abyss up into 4th place, Natty in 5th, after drivers are yet to make their pit stops, and those who have Heard a lot of interesting comments about Laguna Seca going in and after this race. Some people really like this circuit, others don't. I was thinking about saying what they said, but wouldn't be exactly family friendly. Seca dives into the pits. Born Evil stays out for another lap on very worn medium compound tyres. Interestingly, Seca are more worn than Born Evil's. That front right, look at the front right. Born Evil's got more tyre wear across the full 4 tyres, but Seca's front right is taking a beating. Backcountry saying it's not one of his favourite tracks. It's kind of a Marmite track, I think. Some people love it, some people hate it. As I heard a comment on someone's stream, wasn't your stream, Black Country, don't worry, about this track, and about the person who put it on the calendar. So that was interesting to listen to, that's for sure. Seca going on to the soft compound tyres. Will rejoin in 5th place behind Piero, ahead of Black Country Mish, who stayed out another lap on those medium compound tyres. Natty, Tiger and Bonnie, the front 3, yet to make a pit stop. Tiger and Natty, really good tyre conservation to the front right. Maybe they're trying to go for the one-stop strategy, taking medium tyres, 22, 24 laps, and then pitting for a set of soft compound tyres. Will save them the 20 to 30 odd seconds stationary in the pit lane. Natty going through turn 9 with Piero going through turn 8. So 21.3 for Piero, the fastest lap of the race on those soft compound tyres, and is nearly a tenth and a half up through the middle sector. Nearly 2 seconds quicker than Natty on worn medium compound tyres. But a lot quicker than Tiger Assassin, 24.2, 23.1. Natty lapping a second a lap quicker than Tiger. Piero lapping a second quicker than both of them. 2 seconds quicker. Maybe Tiger's struggling on the worn medium compound tyres, whereas Natty's just been able to conserve a little bit more life in them, which he can now use before making his first pit stop of the race. Blue flags are being waved for someone, not sure who. As Born Evil runs a little bit wide at the penultimate corner before coming into the pits. Lap 19 of 41. It's either going to be hard compound tyres to the end or 2 sets of softs from here. Apologies about that, just had something quickly to do. So Bonnie on those soft compound tyres. apologies. Lap 22:41. Piero has got past Natty, and Tiger's still in the lead of this race on those medium compound tyres, yet to make a pit stop. Piero all over the back of that Porsche, or quickly approaching the back of the Porsche, I should say. Piero goes through, Tiger into the pits. My apologies for the lack of talking, but there's just a few things going on that I'm trying to keep an eye on as well, so yeah, bear with me. Apologies for the last couple of minutes, everything has been sorted, and I can get back to the action. So, Tiger Assassin in and out of the pits from the mediums on lap 22, goes onto a set of soft compound tyres on the one-stop strategy. Dan now into 8th place behind his teammates. One Eagle all over the back of Natty on lap 23 of 41. The McLaren driver yet to make a pit stop in this race, and this is not great for Bonnie, being stuck behind that McLaren. It's a little bit deep, a little bit wide, just about keeps it going on in a straight line. It was nearly perpendicular to the racing line, but manages to hold it nicely and stays out for another lap, 24 laps on medium compound tyres. Piero on the softs, out in front, going towards turn 1. That's late, that's really deep from Toussaint. Off in the gravel down at turn 2. Bonnie goes through, Natty might go through on the inside. I think Toussaint's going to keep that, and I can confirm there was a brake issue for Toussaint's pedals, which is why the car didn't slow down for the 180-degree left-hander at turn 2. So Natty on a one-stop strategy, staying out on those medium compound tyres. Tiger as well. Committing to a one-stop, hitting at the end of lap 22. See if it works out for them. Where is Tiger? He's coming up to the back of Dan Aston with Woodby Star, a train that he doesn't want to get held up behind. Portman's on the back of Black Country Mush, who's now on a fresh set of soft compound tyres, and that Mercedes. Abyss is on. Gone to the hard compound tyres. Let's see what he can do on that tyre. Natty's into the pits off of those mediums, and we'll go on to a set of soft compound tyres to finish this race. That's off a 10th place and an extra point. Country Mush trying to defend from Portman's, who was on a fresher set of soft tyres. He can find his way past Black Country Mush, he'll score 2 points as opposed to 1. But you can see the fuel going into the back of the McLaren. It's been released with 54 litres of fuel. About 20 minutes left of racing action here, and Piero leads the race ahead of Bonnie in second. Toussaint now in 3rd place after his braking issue down at turn 1. Cameron Kaboom successfully getting past Sergeant Colon, who serves a 5-10 penalty, boosts staff into 5th place, down up into 6th, and the Tiger in 8th on that one stop is coming up to the back of those cars in front. And I'd like to address thinking Colon's in the hards, he's actually on the softs, or it's just pitted for softs I think, at the end of 23, 1 minute 57.3. Suggests a pit stop, roughly 30 seconds lost in the pit lane. Riding aboard in the cockpit of Fortman's Porsche as he tries to get past Black Country in front of him for 10th place. Mercedes running a little bit wide. You can see the cornering speed advantage that Portman has in the Porsche. Through turn 4. Yeah, it was Abyss who tried the hards. Currently is on the hards now. As someone's off. It's Natty off in the barrier, in the wall on the exit of turn 5, with front bumper damage. Let's have a look how it happened. Right on board with the McLaren driver. Just taps the gravel on the outside and there's a passenger to the barrier. And once the car was lost, there was no saving it, but that is a catastrophic blow to the one-stop strategy that's going to cost him at least 12 seconds. And but if you do the maths, well, I done the maths after the race, so I calculated I lost about, I think it was 29. Oh no, because I had that one later, so it's 16. I think I lost about 32 seconds in this race based on incidents and where my lap time should have put me. But that's racing. That is the harsh reality of racing. Tiger's caught up to the back of Aston for 7th place. Sportman's is going to try and go for a move on Black Country Mush down the inside and towards turn 2. Black Country leaves the door open. Sportman says thank you very much and moves his way up to now 9th place in this race. As Tiger on those fresher soft compound tyres, we're looking to try and get ahead of the 4GT as soon as possible. Up the hill they go, approaching turn 8, the famous corkscrew here at Laguna Seca. William Snow's done a good job to get himself back up into 5th place after his collision on the opening lap, setting some good lap times, not too far off the leaders, who are currently just on another level in this race. Piero's consistently quick lap times in the mid 1 minute 21s. One Eagle matching him. Toussaint getting there with his, after his mistake, or a braking issue I should say. But look at the way he's got on the front right tyre. He'll be into the pits maybe next lap. Tiger still behind the 4GT, unable to find a way through. Although this could be his opportunity, backs out of the move. Down towards turn 7, he's going to have another go in towards turn 8. Side by side, wheel to wheel, late on the brakes, and up into 7th place. here on lap 28 of 41. The leader, Piero, already on lap 29. There's just something about Piero and leading American races. Can he go on and win this one? There's about a 5-second, 6-second gap to Bon Evil behind. And the Alfa Romeo low on fuel. McLaren as well with their fuel lights on, too soon, nearly with a puncture on the front right, and will probably be into the pits this lap. For those watching this race live, I'm actually going to remind myself to do this now, so probably won't have time to do it in the outro. If you're watching this live, make sure to sign up to the first F123 event that Gavra is hosting tomorrow, Monday the 19th, at Spain. Make sure to sign up to that one to get yourself a spot on the grid. And if you're watching this before the first week of July, the Weekend League starts up once again. Registrations are now open. I believe there are only 10 spaces left. If you want to get yourself on the grid, make sure to send a message. Sorry, no, don't send a message for that one. You sign up on the website, gavraracing.altavista.org. No, it's not .org.uk. It's something. Just type of Gavra Racing into Google. Other search engines are available. Yeah, blah blah blah. Leaders are into the pits. Let's get back to the racing action. Piero, Bon Evil, Toussaint, Wigglestyle, Dan, Aston, and everyone's into the pits on lap 29 of 41, apart from Cameron Caboon, Tiger Assassin, and X-Natty G. All staying out on those soft compound tyres, mediums if you're Cameron Caboon. Obviously, Tiger's going to the end, and he's come out just ahead. Oh, body. Oh, sorry for that, yawn. I've been up since 6 this morning. It's a busy schedule this summer, so yeah, just apologies if future streams are delayed, but there are only 2 races left after this one. How quickly this season has flown by. Toussaint in 5th on the soft compound tyres behind Bon Evil. Has his teammate in front going to the end on those soft tyres, who may be used as a mobile chicane towards the final 10 laps of this race to try and bring his teammate closer to the back of the Alfa Romeo, as Piero will take the net lead once Cameron Caboon comes into the pits. Indeed, he does. What are my plans for the summer? What are your plans? No, not much, but a lot at the same time. Nothing special. Let's just put it that way. Put it in the comments what plans you guys have for the summer, if you can cope with this heat. Although, the Met Office said we're going to have a storm now in the UK actually. 3 o'clock, supposed to be thunder, so if it does rain, if my internet does drop, that is why. It's not currently raining, it's still boiling hot. It's not that hot actually, but quite warm. As warm as other days. Not as warm as it probably is here at Laguna Seca. I don't actually know where Laguna Seca is in America. Let me know in the comments, where is Laguna Seca in America? I don't actually know. I could just Google it actually, that would be easier. But Bon Evil is closing up to the back of Tiger Assassin. Central California. Did not know that. I didn't know it was in California. Bon Evil trying to go around the outside of Tiger, going through the final corner. I didn't think it was going to be in California because Grand Valley Highway is now based in California, which is why I thought it would. Going defensive down the to the inside, down at turn 2, parking his car in all the right places to deny Bon Evil a switchback opportunity. The Alfa Romeo probably going to get a little bit frustrated, sat behind Tiger Assassin, because not only does it bring Toussaint closer, but stops him from trying to close down that gap to Piero. Although I think Tiger knows his race is not with Piero, it's for defending positions. But One Eagle with a move down the inside has gone too deep. Tiger with a classic switchback move gets the position back in second place. Beautifully executed down at turn 6. He's ahead for the left-hander of turn 7. As Piero catches a bit of lap traffic. Tiger defensive into the corkscrew. He's going to make that Porsche the widest Porsche on the grid, the widest we've ever seen. And it's going to struggle to defend though against that Alfa Romeo on worn soft compound tyres. As Bon Eagle now goes for a move down the inside. Like Kadri's saying, there's some drama on the last lap. Well, I know there's some drama on the last lap. I'm not sure where or who. Maybe it's these two. We'll have to wait and see. Bon Eagle down the inside. Can he complete the move? Indeed he does. Up into second place, but has lost a lot of time to Piero. 1.5 seconds lost on that last lap, although Tiger won't care. His race is not with Piero, and is currently sitting in a comfortable P3 with his teammate closing in behind, but they've got the gaps of Black Country Mush behind, and Cameron Kaboom. Cameron with the fastest lap of the race, but Black Country does need to make another pit stop because he's going to run out of fuel. That in 7th place, and a recovery drive, it's fair to say, in this race after a poor qualifying. 15 seconds off the leader on lap 1. The spin on lap 26. And I made another mistake during the race as well. Lap 28, I think. There's another one. And then, yeah, as a racing driver, there's a lot I could say, but as a commentator, I won't say them. Assassin's actually stuck with the back of One Eagle on this lap. One is going defensive to the inside. Can he get it stopped in time? Yes, he can. Tiger's keeping with One Eagle. Both drivers running wide. Like I was just saying, considering I had a poor quality, it was a good recovery. Thank you. But not where I was hoping to be based on the calculations I made prior to lights out. There goes Tiger now. The gap's open on the inside. Bonnie leaves him the room. Tiger down the inside of Bon Eagle and back up into second place. This battle is not yet over. Tiger Assassin bringing the fight to Bon Eagle. Debut Chief Sergeant Colon up in front. Let's hope he doesn't interfere with this battle. But we're going to stick with these two, the closest battle out on the circuit currently. Bon Eagle sending one down the inside. Can they make it without contact? It was hard to tell from that camera angle. They're going to go side by side, wheel to wheel down the start finish straight through turn 1 in the run down towards turn 2. Bonnie goes defensive to the inside. Tiger late on the brakes is going to try and swoop it around the outside, set himself up for a switchback on the exit of the corner. Bonnie runs wide onto the gravel. Lots of drivers running wide in this race, it seems. Lots of dirt being kicked up. Only 7 laps to go in this race. And again, apologise for the more casual, maybe boring commentary, but I really do. Well, the time is cutting it close. Should be able to get this stream done in time, and I'm also going to keep the noise down for people around me and such. Hopefully I can be back in 100% mode next week. I think Tiger's tyres have had enough in this race. The gap is opened up to about a second now to Bon Eagle in front, and I think that's all the Tiger's fighting powder gone. He's not got his teammates to worry about. Piero, the race leader, starts lap 36 and continues to go purple to the first sector after stopping the first lap of the race on the last lap. Bonnie approaching lapped traffic, Sergeant Colon in the blue Ford Mustang. I had no idea he was supposed to be racing tonight. I don't even know how he got in the lobby. He's not friends with me, so I don't know who he's friends with in this lobby, but he's found himself on the grid for tonight's race, replacing the absent Play Dutchy. And I've got Ryan in replacing Hobson. Looks like Sergeant Colon's going to move nicely out of the way for Bon Evil, who continues on his pursuit for Piero. As Tyrant Sutton will be next to deal with the lap traffic. His teammate and reigning champion Toussaint running in 4th place after starting in 2nd. Gavra is not too far behind Toussaint, but I think the gap is growing after every lap, such as the gap between Tiger and Bonnie, with 2 different strategies in play, one on a much fresher set of soft compound tyres, the other's been on them since lap 22. And actually let's have a look at the lap time between Tiger and Natty, 2 drivers on the one stop between the softs and the mediums. Tiger 1:22.6, Natty 22.0, so 6 tenths quicker on 2 laps fresher soft compound tyres. So if he was up there, then it could have been an interesting fight for third place, maybe even 4th, with Toussaint closing the gap. Apologies, I'm so tired. I woke up at 6:30 this morning. It's a busy schedule. The end of the race is approaching thick and fast. Lap 38 of 41. Not too long left in this race for drivers to make positions. Scout Down running in 8th place. We've not mentioned him for a while. He's had a relatively quiet second half of the race. So is Fortman's and Aston, kind of running their own races. No one in front, no one behind. For a while, Black Country Mush on very fresh soft compound tyres, looking to try and see if he can close down that gap to Aston in front. The hard tyres on Abyss's car not working for him at all. 1 minute 25's the lap times being set by the Nissan driver. Tiger gets ahead of Sergeant Colon in 13th place, and Ryan rounds out the grid in 14th place, being waved blue flags for Piero in front. Ryan moves over to the left hand side of the circuit, lets Piero go through. Starts lap 39, 3 laps to go in this race. Whilst I don't think there are only 2 takes, let's get an on-board lap where you can listen to the engine on board with Piero. go, that is a lap of Laguna Seca on board with Piero, current race leader, and he seems to have a thing for these American races late on in the championship. Can he bring the fight to Playdachi, who is not here this week? Toussaint closing up to the back of his teammate with only 2 laps to go. Tiger running wide, he's just kept it on the circuit in a straight line. Unfortunately, we might not see much overtaking with the drivers kind of spaced out in this race. It is a long one, 41 laps, although the race time is still about the same. Drivers trying different strategies, and it's worked well for some, different for others. You might see one between the 2 BCR teammates actually. Toussaint closing up to the back of his teammate, Tiger Assassin, with only 1 lap to go. Are we going to see a showdown between these two? As we start the final lap of the race here at Laguna Seca. One final time in America before we head over to Japan. Tiger going in towards turn 1 ahead of his teammate, but struggling on his tyres, as Black Country Mushers just commented in the chat. He's been on those softs since lap 22, whereas Toussaint's been on them since lap 29, so 7 laps difference in the tyre wear. It's just having a look to see where Piero is on the circuit. We are going to get some racing between the 2 German manufacturers. The Mercedes going down inside of Tiger, down in towards turn 5. Is it turn 5? No, turn 6, sorry. But Toussaint has got the move done up into a podium position here on the last lap, but also on the last lap. And with 1 corner to go, Piero has completely dominated this race from the pit stop window. He started on pole, he hasn't quite led every single lap, but with the fastest lap as well. He won in Grand Valley, he wins in Laguna Seca, and Piero takes maximum points from this race with 10, ahead of Bon Evil in 2nd place. Ryan spun and crashed before the line, but Bon Evil in 2nd place. Toussaint will finish in 3rd. This could be close between Tiger and Cameron Kaboom. It's a drag race to the line. Toussaint in 3rd, Tiger in 4th, just ahead of Cameron Kaboom in 5th place. It's not the first time there's been a drag race between those two. Those yellow flags could become an issue if there's any overtaking up to the line. But Natty's gone deep, Natty's gone wide off into the gravel on the final lap of the race, and that could concede him 6th place. There goes Wiggly Style up into 6th place. Natty hitting the wall in frustration across the line. He finishes down in 7th place after starting in 11th. Scout Dan in 8th place across the line. Fortman's in 9th. Aston across the line in 10th place, and Black Mush in 11th. Abyss in 12th, a lap down. So is Sergeant Colonel, and Ryan finishes in 14th. Will be not quite making it to the checkered flag in time. But that is it, an end to Laguna Seca. To go through the finishing order from bottom to top, Wolfie not finishing in 15th, Ryan in 14th, Sergeant Colonel in 13th, Abyss in 12th, Black Country Mush in 11th, Aston in 10th, Fortman's in 9th, Dan in 8th, Nat in 7th, Wiggly in 6th, Cameron Kaboom in 5th, Tiger in 4th, Toussaint in 3rd, Bonnie in 2nd, and Piero, your race winner. Thank you, Black Country, for the compliment, although it's definitely not my best commentary. There's many reasons why. Won't go into the details about it today. But there is your race winner, Piero's McLaren, taking the top step on the podium this week, and closer the gap down to Playdachi in the championship. Only 2 races to go. We leave America off to Japan for the first of the 2 Japanese races. The first one in Suzuka before the season finale in Fuji. Make sure to join us next week for the same time, same place, where all 15 drivers battle it out again to see who can finish on the top step of the podium. Thank you guys for joining me. I've been X90G. Not my best commentary, but I'll be back next week. Goodbye.